Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway.
Every story has to start somewhere. For this series, it starts right here, pulling up to Black Bayou. Not long ago, my doctor gave me some non-negotiable news. The burning in my legs was vascular. The prescription was simple but mandatory. Get out and walk at least 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week. So I stepped out onto the path. While the pavement takes care of my body, the mind needs somewhere to go. On these daily walks, I'm taking you with me to explore something bigger, reimagining society, looking beyond capitalism, and exploring the power of member-owned collective systems. Welcome to the walk. People often ask me how I got here, how my legs got to this point. The short answer is it started around the time the world shut down with COVID-19. Back in 2018, at 63, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. We caught it early, treated it successfully, and I was deeply grateful. But a year later came a L4 and L5 spinal compression. After rehab, returning to my job as a slitter rewinder operator was tough. Standing on a concrete floor for 10 hours wasn't an option anymore. But management wasn't happy seeing me sit down. Then 2020 hit. March, the height of the pandemic. When I asked my employer how could I remain safe in my condition, he suggested that I use up my paid leave if I was uncomfortable working around the younger crew. Well, while I was out, someone brought the virus into the plant and everyone was furloughed. Before my leave even ended, they eliminated my position, offered me a lower role with a cut in pay. Just like that, after years of hard work, they saw an easy exit from under my failing health and kicked me to the curb. It was a hard pill to swallow, but it opened my eyes. When a system values profit over human life, you realize how fragile we all are under capitalism. This long path to the bayou isn't just for my legs. It's where we set the stage to build something better. Welcome to the walk. When a system views your health as a liability, you realize how urgently we need a shift. That's where BIT comes in, a blueprint for true economic self-determination, built on collective ownership rather than surviving under a system designed against us. Moments like this, out on the water, brings everything into focus. For Black liberation, true freedom cannot exist without economic sovereignty. For generations, our communities have generated wealth we were never allowed to keep. BIT changes that paradigm, focusing on member-owned capital pooling, community trust, and keeping our resources where they belong. It's about moving from relying on an abusive system to owning the infrastructure that sustains us. Because when we control the infrastructure, we control our future. True liberation isn't asking for, it's built. Yeah. This is Black Bayou. And it's a beautiful lake. It's got lots of wildlife in it. And I think it would be better for me to get my 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week, by coming out here and walking this observation and taking pictures and doing something I love at the same time. BIT is designed as a practical blueprint to shift us from economic isolation into shared strength. By pooling our capital into member-owned trusts and infrastructure, we stop letting outside systems extract our wealth, and we start building community equity that lasts for generations. And every moment in history, every shift that ever mattered, always started with a single step. I started these daily walks because my doctor said I had to for my health. But out here on Black Bayou, walking this wooden path, I realized it's about much more than just my legs. We're told that the current system is the only way, that we are powerless to change it. But when you slow down and look at what we can accomplish together through collective ownership, you realize the power was always in our hands. One step, one community, one collective decision at a time. This is the power of one. When a system measures a human being's worth entirely by their ability to labor, the moment health forces you to stop, the system acts like you no longer matter. Having put in decades of hard, earnest work on my feet, only to be tossed aside because my body said no more, that isn't a personal failure. That's a systemic failure. As I head back towards the truck, the questions hit different. At 71, forced into retirement because my body simply couldn't take the long hours on a concrete floor anymore, I'm left facing the reality so many are afraid to talk about. What happens when you can't work? What happens when you work your entire life, giving decades of your sweat, time, and health to a company, and the system leaves you without enough to last until end of life? You have to ask, what do we actually want from our society? Do we want to live with genuine dignity? Do we want our material needs met and our lives enriched? And shouldn't our collective wealth, our tax dollars, our hard work be used to protect us when our bodies slow down instead of kicking us to the curb? That's why the black community needs BIT. That's why we need collective ownership and systems built for human beings, not just for corporate profit. As I get closer to the parking lot, the message becomes clear. Ownership is autonomy. Ownership is freedom. Ownership is true liberation. Under the current system, we're taught to stay divided, competing over scraps, while the wealth we create is siphoned away. But building collective power doesn't mean we all have to think alike, dress alike, or hold the exact same opinions. Diversity of thought is natural. What it does mean is that we have to be on one accord, united on the fundamental principle that our people, our labor, and our communities deserve economic sovereignty. If we want our freedom, our focus must be locked on the same horizon. Imagine a world where black people decide, finally, collectively, that we are done being the engine of an economic machine designed to starve us. A world where the $1.3 trillion we generate every year stops flowing into corporations that exploit us, criminalize us, surveil us, and then sell us back our own culture at a markup. Imagine we stop feeding the system that feeds on us. Getting ready to leave. As I pull away from Black Bayou today, the destination feels clearer than when I arrived. Ownership is autonomy. Ownership is freedom. Ownership is true liberation. We don't all have to think alike or see eye to eye on every detail, but if we want real freedom, we have to be on one accord. This is how we turn that unity into lasting infrastructure. My body forced me onto this path, but the future belongs to what we build together. Take care of your health, protect your mind, and never forget the power of one. I'll see you on my next walk.